Okay. In no particular order, here are several advantages to going on a low carb, keto type bulking diet. First of all, it's harder to get fat. It is not, I'm not saying that you'll never get fat if you don't eat carbohydrates. Okay, there are people out there that don't eat carbs that are fat, just like there are vegans, like strict vegetarians out there who are fat. Okay, however, it is harder to get fat when you don't eat carbohydrates. Okay, and the reason is, the food you eat when you just eat protein and fat is very filling. Okay, so even if you literally just eat as much as you want, like how many steaks, how much hamburger meat, how many eggs can you eat, how much bacon can you eat at one sitting, okay, before you just don't want to eat anymore? And how many times a day can you do this? Now, compare that to the old joke about Chinese food, like you eat Chinese food and an hour later you're hungry again. Well, that's because, first of all, it's all carbohydrates. Second, it's cheap, crappy carbohydrates, okay? White rice, noodles, every sauce in a Chinese restaurant has all kinds of sugar, so you just burn it up real quick and you're hungry again. So it's easy to overeat, when you're eating, just carbohydrates, okay? It's easier to get enough calories. Okay, I just said it's hard to overeat when you're not eating carbohydrates, but it's also easier to get all your calories for the same reason, okay? Everything, if you eat low carb, you're probably eating high fat. If you eat high fat, fat has 9 calories per gram as opposed to carbohydrates or protein, which is only 4. So that means you're getting like over twice the amount of calories per gram of food you're actually putting in your stomach, okay? So for all those people, and I hear this a lot because I do online personal training, and obviously I just know people in real life who, always say, I can't eat more, I can't eat enough, I can't get enough calories. If you just stop snacking on crap and eat nothing but protein and fat, you're going to get your calories. Because, let's be honest here, you eat like a ho-ho, you eat a little bit of this, you eat a couple of those, you drink some soda or some juice with all kinds of sugar, and you're kind of stilling your appetite, and then all of a sudden mom says, hey, it's dinner time, and you can't eat your meal because you had cookies before dinner and you ruined your appetite, okay? So by taking out the carbohydrates and the sugar and the crap that you don't need, you are going to be just eating really high calorically dense, nutrient dense foods, okay? And, let's be honest here, okay? I'll talk about some of the shakes that I use when I go into a mass building phase. It's like, okay, a cup of heavy cream, not half and half, a cup of heavy cream with raw eggs, protein powder, and some cinnamon for flavor. Literally one 8-ounce cup has over 1,000 calories. So, you're going, this whole thing about I can't eat enough or whatever, if you take out the carbs and just eat protein and fat, you will hit the amount of calories that you need. Okay, and this also brings me into the next point. Everything you eat has a purpose when you're not eating carbohydrates. You can never eat a carbohydrate for the rest of your life and you will live a long, healthy, happy, functional life. If you cut out protein or fat, you will die. As a matter of fact, this is really bad for men because men really need fat, cholesterol, saturated fat. Those are hormone precursors to make testosterone. But even women need fat or they will drop dead. I remember reading, I guess it was the late 90s. It was a Muscle and Fitness or some magazine. It was about a woman who in the 80s, when it was as low fat as possible, was into fitness competition, and she said she got so far, she went to the point where she was boiling chicken because if you have a 200-gram piece of chicken breast, it will be 47 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, 220 calories. Okay, that's one of the staple meals for me. I know that. She would actually boil chicken so that the fat, the little bit of fat in the chicken would rise up to the top of the water. She would skim that off and eat really, really lean chicken. She got her body so screwed up she had to have like injections. Her doctor had to like medically treat her to get her hormones back because she was eating like zero fat. So, like I said, everything you eat when you go low carb has a purpose. Fat provides energy, it provides calories, it increases your testosterone, which you obviously need as a man to go ahead and function and to get stronger and to get bigger, okay? And protein, which you obviously need to build muscle as well. But you don't need carbohydrates. So like I said, by cutting them out, you cut out everything that does not have a purpose. It's kind of like, who is that guy? The hip hop preacher, he's an inspirational guy. I obviously can't remember his name, so I haven't listened to him in a while. But he was once talking about drugs, and people would say to him, like, dude, what's wrong with just, smoking weed once in a while? And he's like, when you want to get to a high level, you don't look at what's wrong with it. You look at what's right with it. And it's the same thing here. What's wrong with eating carbs every once in a while? What's right with it? Eat the protein, eat the fat. That's what you need. That's all you need. Eat what's right, don't worry about what's wrong, okay? It increases your testosterone levels. Okay, I just talked about that a little bit. Saturated fat, cholesterol are precursors for testosterone. That means your body takes fat and it turns it into testosterone. If you don't have it, or if you have less of it, you're going to have problems creating testosterone. Why am I skinny fat? I accumulate fat quickly and I don't build muscle or strength. Well, your testosterone levels are pretty low probably. And that's like an epidemic. And people are talking about our food's not the same as it was. The environment's not the same as it was. Men are allowing themselves to be, bitched out, like, henpecked by women. All those things, your attitude, all those things certainly do have to do with lowering testosterone. But a massive thing is people say that cholesterol is bad. People say that fat is bad. Years and years and years ago, people would eat a lot of fatty foods. And that's the reason why I believe years ago people had higher testosterone levels. And it just keeps getting worse and worse because let's eat low fat, right? Great. Now all of a sudden everybody has testosterone problems. Okay? It tastes good. I talked in my last video about dirty bulk and cut versus lean bulk. And, a lot of people really enjoy a dirty bulk because, I can eat a pizza because, hey, it's got a lot of, calories, and I can eat some ho-hos because, hey, more calories, you got to eat big to get big, etc. I enjoy this kind of food. Like, I could wake up in the morning, have a loaded omelet with like meat inside of it, cheese, fried in butter, throw a couple pieces of bacon on the side, and that's like diet food. That's like me staying lean, okay? I could have like a hamburger, okay, no bun, no ketchup, etc. But I could throw like a hamburger down on a plate, which is what, like, 8 ounces of really good, ground beef, throw some sauteed mushrooms and onions on top of it, throw some bacon on top of it, throw some natural cheese on top of it. That's diet food, okay? That's not dirty bulk. I'm going to regret this when I'm cutting. That's like lean, and it increases your testosterone and it builds up muscle. So that's like lean bulk food. That's like diet food. That's healthy food for me. And I love eating stuff like that, okay? And this is like the last thing I'm going to say, but this is like something that's really important that not a lot of people have spoken about, okay? If you're already fat adapted, you can switch diets immediately, okay? There are all kinds of different diets. There's more like a keto bulk kind of diet. There's like, a maintenance diet or a body recomposition diet. There's like a cutting diet, like my pure protein diet, for instance. And the problem with this is, if you dirty bulk or if you eat carbs or whatever and you want to go on a keto diet to lose weight, okay, to cut, or if you want to go on the pure protein diet to cut, you need to get fat adapted, okay? You need to cut out the carbs, get your body fat adapted. Now you could start really dialing in your calories and everything. But if you stay low carb, okay, and if you do not eat carbohydrates, you stay fat adapted, you can bulk. And if you get some spillover, okay, spillover is what bodybuilders call it when, they start to get not just, strong and big, but actually fat. You're getting a little bit too much fat. Go ahead and jump down to the pure protein diet for a week or two with zero transition, okay? Just boom, calories and everything, macro composition for the pure protein diet. Do that for a week or two. and you'll drop a lot of weight, get rid of the slop, get lean again, and you can continue going on bulking again, okay? If you are you hit a sticking point where for some reason you're just not really gaining anymore, maybe use the pure protein diet to pull you out of the rut you're in. You know, it would be like going on way high calories to way low calories, even low fat, you know, to kind of shock your body into like, you know, when you go back to high calories and high fat again, you might have another growth spurt.